Hello everyone, I'm Greycloak, thank you for joining me, and welcome back to episode 175 of Factorio with the C-Block mod, where we are working on a new build for our crystal catalyst, because I wanted to just consolidate the Slack, no sorry, the, what's it called, geode processing into crystal slurry and from that into crystal catalysts. And yeah, we are just working on that. We are finished with the first two parts. We need to make the purified water for this part now, and that's where we got to. That doesn't need to go this way, neither do those. And in here we need a lot of water. We need 150 water every second with a crafting speed of 1.5. So that should be 1 or 2.25 water per second by 2. I hate not having the things I need to build stuff. Let's go grab something, hopefully, if we have it. Okay, that's a start. Oh. So the output of these, one needs to go here. One needs to go there. The crystal slurry for this comes from the left, which sucks. It was coming from the right before, but not anymore. But we have more space to use, I guess, so this will continue to come from here, I guess, and this will just have to move out further. The saline water just needs to go and get clarified, so that's not a big deal. Something like that. Of course, at this point I wanted sulfuric acid to be on this tile here, since we are outputting sulfuric wastewater to this line. And that just means it would be in the middle? No, wait. Yeah, it would be here. So we could move this out one further, or we could shift the sulfuric acid out. Or we could shift the sulfuric wastewater in one tile, I guess. Yeah, that is not a problem. Yeah, that just makes everything a little bit easier later on. Good. Now the water for all of this. Each of these machines needs 2.25 water per second, because they have a high crafting speed. So that's 450. How many of these would that be? Five makes 300, so 360, 420, 480. That's 8. I think, if I can count. I think that is the exact same thing we did in our last setup for this. Do I not have that anymore? No, I take too many small blueprints. So yeah, we also had 8 for this, that makes sense. How much saline water are we getting from this? Not a lot. So we probably just want to move that all the way to the end. Meaning we need all of this just a lot of times, or 5 times. Yes, that should work, I think. And we can't do this in a better way, right? Let's just see, can we fit these in a slightly more convenient way? Where we don't use as much space. That fits. And uses 1 less tile. Let's do that instead. We of course need to bring power. And I don't have any power poles, so let's go grab more. So we have sulfuric acid coming here. That won't interfere with these water lines, right? Hopefully not. Well, we'll see. We need power, let's do that. And that will reach now. That's a good side effect of that, well, of this improvement. So that is 10, yes. Which is what we need, good. And this needs to come past all of this. Still have the space for that. And we need sulfuric acid out here somehow. But we'll do that last, I think. Is this top part just exactly not in range? Nope. Okay. Oh well. It doesn't matter too much. So, that part is done. This part is actually also done. We're doing that over here. Yep. So now we just need all of the geode processing. How are we gonna get all of our belts past this? That is where this is not a good idea. Except if we do this, maybe? Then that doesn't work though. We need this space. Space in here. So that should be fine. Okay, let's remove all of these. And that's where we want them instead. And that means we do have the space for all of this, I believe. Yeah, plenty of space. Good. And we need to do that at the top as well, of course. Good. Still no too big problems here, I think. Now, we have a bunch of this stuff, whatever it's called. Saline water that we need to clarify. But it's not too much. It's just 260. And one clarifier could do 160 per second, I think. So it's just 2 clarifiers. We could do power in here. That would be awesome. Because we don't really need this power. If only I could get through in here. And then those are powered. Good. We'll fix that later. And then we need all of our geo stuff. And I don't have that anymore. We need the crystal sludge to be out here, so that should be okay. Yeah, bringing that all the way, good. And we need sulfuric acid into that. Have clarifying of the crystal slurry because we want to be able to handle all of the geodes even if we're backed up on crystal catalysts, so that's fine. Do we want to try and reuse this? Not really. I'm just gonna use it for inspiration, so we're just putting it up there. Or maybe a little bit closer and then turning off my nanobots. How much crystal slurry is this? 300, 6, 900, 1200. Why did we do 6 of these before then, if we only were able to produce half that amount? Oh well, I'm not sure, but we need more than 6 because it's not 200 but 160 for each of these. So that's 800, 960, 1120, 1280, 48. That sounds about right. Is it at the front that we actually want to do this though? Maybe. And we actually want that a little bit further in. As we will have the crystal slurry right here, and we need overflow valves between that pipe and these. So I think everything should be fine so far. Again, we need overflow valves in there, so I do not have those. We will have to grab those later. Or we could just take it from here, I guess. Good. So we need the crystal slurry out here, which is not how we did it up here. We had it in the middle, but since we needed to go on both sides, I didn't want to do that here. But maybe we still have it in the middle of the first thing. Wait, we're crushing these, not just liquefying them. Why is that? Did it use less sulfuric acid like that or something? Is this what we are doing up here? We crush these and put them on belts. Yes, it is. Is that any better at all? That is not the one. No. This one. Let's just do this in another block and unlink that. We need 1334 in... Didn't I just calculate this to 1200? $369. No, it's more. 369, 260, 360, so 1260. But that's still not 1334. I'm bad at math. So 120 plus 240 plus 180 plus 300 and another 300 and 120. Did I forget about 120 of them? No. 1260. What am I missing here then? Oh, this is input. It is input. Why is that like this? I set all of these inputs. Is it because of how much water we have? No. Is it? Maybe it is. So this was supposed to be 1860 or something? Yeah, that almost solved it. Was it 1890? Then it's 1260, yes. Okay. So that was just me being bad at, well, not knowing how this works, I guess, when sorting by input. So we need 1260. If we did that with this, it's 1260. We would have to sort by input as well here, I guess, to see if it actually... Because this won't work, no. So, input. 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, and 30. We are gonna use less sulfuric acid for that, but we're also getting less crystal slurry. It is half the amount of sulfuric acid though, and it's more than half the amount of crystal slurry. So we would save a bunch of sulfuric acid on this. But this is a lot no, the other thing. This is a lot simpler. Wouldn't we like it to just be simple? Because then we don't need to liquefy crushed stone and then clarify that. I think that's a lot better. So we just need these, 48 machines now, as opposed to 48 of those, and however many of these, 12, and then still having, 48 crushers and then 12 liquefiers for the stone, and then still 48, or maybe less liquefiers for the crystal dust. This is a lot of machines. Well, 24 liquefiers then, as opposed to the 48 we need here. I am just gonna go for the simple thing, because just the amounts of crushed stone, well, that would of course be output into the liquefiers directly. So if we take that and liquefy, not to this, but to mineralized water, we would get 2 pipes of that. We would need a lot of water, but that is calculated in 8 liquefiers, but we would scale it up, I think. And then we would need 12 clarifiers for this, all in the name of using less sulfuric acid. But I think we are producing plenty sulfuric acid. And it is something we can just make out of the blue. The blue ocean, that is. Do we think this is gonna be a problem? Spending twice as much sulfuric acid? I don't think so. So, what is the decision here? Do this and be done, or do all of this and be done and use less stuff? Maybe I just want to see how this would work out when we have a little bit extra space and stuff. Sure, let's have a look at that. This is what we need to transfer the slurry with, so let's leave that there. And then let's remove that and pin this instead. Would this need more power actually? 10.88 megawatts. But then I would need all of this in its own block to see how much it would use. Or we could just multiply this by 6. So that's 7.8. This is less power hungry. But then when you calculate in how much extra processing of sulfuric acid you use, it's probably the same. So back to this. We have the belts coming in, and they are... I'm out of belt. God dang it. Do we have any more red belt? Yes, 115 somewhere. That's not a lot. 25 in here. 52 there. 13 here. And we have 25 more somewhere in here. There we go. Okay. Well, this won't last very long, but... well, we'll see. So this is our belts of geodes. And the same thing up here, of course. We're gonna keep those on the outside, because that's just a lot easier. We are gonna remove that and take a... we don't have a crusher. I am so unprepared. Nope. Let's make sure we have crushers and liquefiers. And we just need the crushers, okay. Maybe actually more liquefiers anyway. So we need 48 crushers. And more liquefiers. Good. I need more inserters as well. Let's just take those already. Do we need filter inserters to output the crystal dust to the belt? Probably. The big kicker to this setup would be if we would actually end up using more space than we're currently doing here. Because then I don't want to do that. We need to end up with the liquefiers for the slurry. The slurry needs more than one pipe for output, so we should do something like this probably. And we need 12 on each side. And we need how many belts of crystal dust? 6. Would it be better to crush first, then liquefy, and then bring the liquefied stuff back? Just, it would save us a lot of belt, which is always nice. Well, let's have a look at it, if we can actually fit everything in here first. So this is 12 for a total of 24. Then we would need 24 of these. And I'm not sure where we would want it. Maybe we would want a little bit of space in between. In any case, this would not fit. So that makes me decide that I want to do the other recipe with liquefying the geodes directly. Question then becomes, Couldn't we do that pretty easily at the front, then bring the slurry back in a pipe, and then we wouldn't have to bring these 3 belts down, and we wouldn't have to bring sulfuric acid down. That sounds pretty good. Let's design something first, though. Don't have belts for this. And we just have liquefiers, and we would need, I think I said 48. Get rid of that. These 8, 12, 24, 48, yes. And it's 8 for each build. And they each want their own color, of course. Yeah, they do. We will decide on that later. Let's just make sure that these can fit in here, and they can. So that's a lot better, just by default. And we need sulfuric acid in there. And the output there. I think I'm confident enough in this that I want to move everything back so we can fit this at the front. Let's just check. Does that also mean that we can just take this water from the actual water? We would need 2 pipes of that. So maybe. Let's just leave that at maybe. Get rid of that, that's not needed. Most of this is, so we will just take that. But I will first remove all of this build. Now this might of course also move where we want the fuel to be, then that's fine. We'll figure it out. Okay. And we might move this as well, but let's just get it out of here. And I guess we will be done with this setup. Because then we can take this and move that up there instead. Just outside robot range, of course. Just so I don't lose it in the paste buffer. I could of course just store it, but now it's up there. Okay, let's let the robots do all of that. We still have all of this space up here to work with. I still need this. This would probably end up being fuel, so let's have our geodes here. And then we need to consider the output of all of this as well. Maybe that goes out here. Or right here, actually. I think. Let's go with that assumption. Okay. First belt. Goes in there. And yes, this needs to come from this direction now. Which is fine. Oh, that just needs to be full pipe. Let's just take it from the bottom, or from the left, I guess. Good. Okay. That all looks fine-ish. We'll see how it fits everything else, of course. And we would have to basically mirror that. Do I want to do that though? Not just yet, I don't think. Let's just leave it at that. That gives us 2 pipes of the slurry, crystal slurry thing. We still want the outputs here. We want the fuel coming in here. We need sulfuric acid in here somehow. That might be the problem. But I guess we will just do a lot of underground belt. Should still be able to do that, I guess. Yeah. Of course, we can't exactly do that here, though. Can we move this over with a splitter? If we did this and set output purple, because we need this belt to get in here as fast as possible, or do we? Oh, we are cooking with acid or something here. Let's just have a look. Is this in here? No. Where would liquefying of these things be? Where are these recipes? They are in sorting. Oh, but it's the geodes I'm having on a build, of course. This would, I think, stop the blue geodes here. Well, some would get on the end of this, but it should still let the purple geodes through, and then we can still have this. Let's just do a test with something I have, like nanobots. And let's just put it nice and clearly like that. So nanobot goes on here. No, they were supposed to go out here. And that's backing up nicely. And then we have something like ammo in here. If I can figure out how to put that on the underground belt. And that is led through to there, yes. But it should still be grabbable from here. I hope. And then we can still get that in there and we can underground that nicely. Let's just get rid of all of that. I'm not sure I want to do this though. It's very weird. I could just move these over one tile instead. No, we couldn't. Wait. These still fit in easily. Yeah, there's no problem then. They're just not taken from the underground build. Yep, no problems. I'm just causing a huge mess over no reason. Oh well. At least as long as these inserters can handle the throughput, we should probably just upgrade them to fast inserters already. And again, yeah, there's no problem there. And we have plenty of space to power all of these. Good. I just saw we had one here without recipe, but that's because I played around with it, I think. Okay, so we should have close to a full pipe of crystal slurry there. And that should easily be mirrored up there. So we still have fuel in, output. And then we should just be able to take this, put on the end of it. We are probably not in the right position for this, but we will have a look. Yeah, we're not. We need to move up with at least 2 tiles. And actually 3, because we have pipes overlapping with input for the filtration units and water. So we need this up here. 3 tiles up. How does that work out with sulfuric acid? That doesn't go very far, so that's no problem. We need the sulfuric wastewater out. That shouldn't be a problem either. So I think this is all good. Let's move this up by 3 tiles, and then we are moving it back to actually match these machines here. Now there's... Actually, let's wait with pasting that. There's the problem of clarifying any extra of this stuff. But I guess we just do that to the left of this. There's no reason to squeeze that in on the right. No. And we moved it up 3 tiles. Hopefully I counted correctly. Seems right. Good. So now this should be okay to put here. There is a tile between all of the pipes of the other setup. That's good. We will have... No, we will not have sulfuric acid going past that. I have messed up the belts of this setup, I think. Wait, this is not where this goes. Why did I want to move everything up? Because this needs to go in here-ish. So the first part of this is the widest part because we need all of the belts there, but it also gets wider further back, so this wouldn't have been enough anyway if we needed it up here or down here. But we can move that 3 tiles up. So now we can move everything 2 tiles down. I believe. Let's do it at least. To there. And we need to remove some of the belts from this. Let's just do that from here. We need the crystal slurry back here. So yeah, we need to get that passed, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. We just need this out, and we have the space for that. Let's just copy this and not cut it right now. I think this is what we want. Do I think that's hard enough to actually put it down? Sure. Now this will have to go one shorter like so many others in this setup. And that's fine, because then we can get this out here and that out there. And the other way for this. Also, I've messed this build up a couple of places. Okay. This seems to be fine, yes. So I guess if I trusted that to be right, we should also just get this powered and mirror it. Eh. These all set up. Sure, let's mirror them. And then we just need to fix the recipes of the top part. Since we don't want 2 times the processing for blue geodes. We would rather have processing of light green. We'll have to wait for the robots then. Oh well. Now, could we... I know this is late to start asking this question, but could we squeeze this together somehow? As this is the widest part of this setup, right? We do have pipes here, but that could move. We have pipes back here as well, but that is not needed because this pipe doesn't need to go here. Since that was our crystal slurry. So everything here could be squeezed in. Just a note. Water could be taken from here instead of these. But can we do something here? We can't underground in opposite directions, right? That's just not possible. No. Nope. We can't have all of this liquid in one pipe, even if we just pumped it all the way. Or could we? It is just 1260. I mean, we're expecting all of this to be in one pipe, but we could move all of this a little bit apart if we wanted to. So yeah, there's actually no reason for that, I don't think. Maybe it's just time that I do a fluid mechanic test again. We brought some storage tanks up, right? Yep. Now we're going to test it though. Usually I do it with pumps, but we can't really do that. And put enough, well, maybe we can. We want a lot of water in, so... Well, we don't actually need a storage tank on one end then. Just need it to actually measure how much water we have. If we do a long line of this. And then at this end we add a bunch of groundwater bores. So that is how many? 30? So they are able to produce 1800 water. Actually, I want it limited on that end. So how fast are they gonna fill up? Two tanks here. With the 25,000, right? Well, we can just test it. They are. So yeah, this is a lot less than 1,000 per second. I'm pretty confident about that. And that's just because it's only passively pushing into this. Which means that this is a problem. Because we might actively be pushing into these pipes, but then they're not really pushed onwards from there. We could fix this part, I think. Well, we have less of this, so we could switch these outputs around. Oh, but that's such a headache. unfortunately, that's all we have time for in this episode. So thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.